Welcome to Meet the Fleet. It's a show that brings you inside the cab and under the hood of some of the biggest and baddest vehicles in Los Angeles County. Now, normally we're showing you the vehicles in the LA County fleet itself, but today we're here in Altadena, which was devastated by the recent Eaton Fire, to see how the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is using an arsenal of machines to clear up the debris and allow the community to rebuild. Let's check it out.
This is the Altadena Temporary Debris Staging Site, located in the heart of the Altadena community devastated by the Eaton Fire. The United States Army Corps is processing and recycling clean concrete, metals, and vegetation, such as burned trees here. There's a lot happening. There are trucks, excavators, mulchers, concrete crushers, and more operating 12 hours a day, every day, to get Altadena back on its feet. We were lucky to join the United States Army Corps of Engineers to learn about the fleet of vehicles getting this dirty, important recovery work done. There are over 6,000 impacted properties in the Eaton Fire zone alone, with an estimated 2.5 to 3 million tons of debris to clear. As the debris is removed from properties, it's sorted and loaded onto these 20-ton, 3-axle trucks. The ash, contaminated soil, and other household hazardous waste go to permitted landfills, while the clean concrete, vegetation, and scrap metal comes here, where it'll be recycled and put back into the supply chain. There are a lot of trucks queued up here. With 129 crews working in the community, there's about 350 tons of material unloading here every day.
Guys, we're surrounded by trucks here. There's a huge line of them coming in. Doctor, what exactly are they bringing in?
So typically we're bringing in 3 different debris streams. We're bringing in recyclable metal, recyclable concrete, which has been tested before it's been recycled, as well as vegetative debris. The 20-ton, 3-axle trucks that you typically see are the concrete and metal. And then the vegetation is usually with a knuckle boom self-loading truck. So we have about 129 debris crews operating as we speak. That crew is made up of an excavator, a skid steer, and then usually 3 trucks. With the higher throughput, we can have more trucks on each crew. So they're clearing each property in maybe a day to a day and a half.
After each truck is individually weighed at a scale, the material is unloaded. Here's where the clean concrete goes. A fleet of excavators with jackhammers, clamshells, and other attachments demolish the concrete slabs into smaller pieces. A special excavator with a powerful magnet hovers above, pulling any metal, like rebar, out of the concrete. A dedicated hose crew waters the debris to keep the dust down, a critical safety measure that keeps workers and the surrounding community safe, while air quality monitors track the dust to ensure compliance with local air quality standards.
How exactly does that magnet work to remove the rebar and other metal?
So it's got a switch mechanism inside. So as he hovers over anything that he thinks might be metal, he turns it on. It's a pretty powerful magnet. It'll pick up that metal, including any incidental concrete that's still attached. He'll swing it over to his pile that he's making, turn the switch off, and then it'll drop.
Different attachment to our excavators. One is a clamshell that'll essentially take that big piece and make it into a smaller one. The other one is the hammer. And then that gets essentially pushed over into a certain pile. And then the loader, which you can see behind us, is taking those smaller chunked up pieces and then inserting it right into the grinder.
The centerpiece of this massive cleanup operation are the twin Cedar Rapids concrete crushers, capable of crushing 300 tons of concrete into gravel every hour. These things are massive, with 150-foot-long conveyors carrying the concrete from one grinder to another, pulverizing it into small pieces of gravel. As it moves along each belt, the material is sifted through 8-foot by 20-foot screens to ensure a consistent size. There are hoses and nozzles every step of the way, keeping the dust down. As it reaches the end of its journey, like a waterfall, the material pours off the edge into large piles where loaders pick up the material and load it into even larger trucks, and the material is driven out to a recycler.
Every piece of equipment here has a purpose, and that purpose really is essential to taking that large products that we're pulling off of the properties, the concrete, steel, and vegetation, reducing it in size and then getting it out. But it all has to work in unison, and it all has to work together to do that.
Concrete's not the only recyclable material coming to the staging area. There's also vegetation. There's about 1,350 cubic yards of trees being processed here each day. That's nearly 675 tons. There are 2 John Deere 2656G logger loaders with 240 horsepower, capable of moving and twirling 8 tons of logs like they're chopsticks in a single load. 2 1,200 horsepower CBI horizontal grinders chew up the wood and mulch them into wood chips. As the wood chips pile up and start to break down and decompose, they start to heat up and release steam. That's when a giant loader comes in to move the piles around for safety, while a sprinkler system works at night to keep the material wet.
These are only trees that were impacted by the fire that might fall later. So this is, again, recyclable material. So some of the challenges are just getting the debris here.
So you constantly throughout the day have teams managing the mulch piles.
Correct, and we'll actually have trucks come in, so they'll be loading and off-hauling as well. Yeah.
Thanks to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for having us out here so we can check out the incredible operation and see their role in helping LA County recover. If you were affected by the Eaton or Palisades fires, make sure to visit recovery.lacounty.gov, where you can find information and resources that help you recover. That's all from Meet the Fleet. Thanks for joining us, and check us out next time for another all-new adventure.